one example on ionic bonding. So this is the second example I'm going to demonstrate with you on ionic bonding, of which you might fail to know the concept that would come. You'll find you think the question is too confusing. So suppose now a group 2 element like magnesium, a group 2 metal like magnesium, so we say magnesium bonds with fluorine. Okay, let us show the bonding of magnesium and fluorine. So magnesium is found in group 2 with an atomic number of 12. So we say magnesium, which is Mg, 12, which we are going to say the first shell is going to occupy 2 electrons like this, and the second shell will occupy 8. So be mindful. For example, if they give you an element like lithium, its atomic number is 3. So it's not that you should also reach at the extent of writing 8 electrons in the second shell. The reason why we can reach up to 80, writing 8 electrons in the second shell for magnesium, because of the proton number is big enough to manage the electrons of the second shell. Now lithium has only 3, which means the first shell will have only 2, and then lastly from 3, if you take away 2 from 3, we just have 1. That is how the electronic structure operated. Back to magnesium now. So we have 4 there, 6 and 8. So 8 plus 2 inside in the first shell, we have 10. So we are remaining with it 2 more electrons to write for magnesium. Okay. Then let us write for fluorine. So fluorine is in group 7, which has 9 electrons, 9 with the number of 9 as its proton number, of which, let me write it from here, of which the first shell will occupy 2 like that. Then if we take away 2 from 9, we will have 7. So we have 2, 4, 6 and 7. Okay, now look at this. This magnesium has 2 electrons in its outermost shell, of which it has to lose all these 2 electrons for it to remain stable. One of the reasons elements do bonding is because they want to acquire a stable state. They want to become stable and reactive. So by the way, bonding is a combination of 2 or more metals that are chemically bonded together. Okay. Now look at this. This fluorine here is having 7 electrons in the outermost shell, which means it only has to gain 1 electron. But this magnesium is giving out 2 electrons. So in such a situation, you need to express it in this form. If this can give 2 electrons and this one can only receive 1 electron, then you need to bond magnesium to 2 atoms of fluorine. Therefore, you write it like this. Another fluorine atom will come down here, which is the first shell will have 2 electrons, the second shell will have 7 as usual, it is 4, 6 and 7. Therefore, from there, we say now, this electron here will go to this one, and this one to this one. This one alone cannot get 2 electrons, because if it gets 2 electrons, then it will have 9 electrons in the second shell, of which there is no such expression. Then finally, you show it like this. So magnesium, 12 as its proton number, we have 2 electrons in the first shell there. Then the second shell, so let me just draw it a little bit bigger. Okay, like that. Okay. this last shell won't be plotted. Why? Because the electrons that are occupying the last shell have been transferred to that non-metal layer. So we have 8 quickly. So that is 8. And then this side we'll have this fluorine atom here, which is going to have 2. Then the last shell will have 2. Sorry. Should be a cross dot diagram here. We have 2 electrons there. 4, 6, 7. Then this one, which was transferred, will appear here in that form. And another fluorine atom, which will appear like this. We have 2 in the first shell. Then we have 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8 like that. Then we will show this like this, and this one like this. Then we will ask ourselves to say, how many electrons did magnesium lose in this reaction, or in this particular bonding which was taking place? So we witnessed that 2 electrons of magnesium were transferred. We will write the charge as positive 2. Then here we can see that 2 electrons were gained from fluorine there. We have a negative 2 charge like that. This one gained 1 and this one gained 1. So they will ask you to say, show only outermost shells when magnesium bonds with the fluorine. In your inner world, you don't have to show this, or you can just practice. It's just a demonstration to show how electrons are transferred from one element to another element. So if you are to show the outermost shells, the charges should appear, of course, and then you just rub the inner shell here. Then you have shown the outermost shell for this one. You even do that from that one and that from that one. Then you have shown the outermost shells of bonding between magnesium and the fluorine. Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget, if you have a question, just contact me on that same WhatsApp line, Machunda, and you'll find me and get in touch with me. Thank you very much.